Today we're at the Los Angeles International Airport, the LAX Flight Path Museum. And what brings us out here today is we are working with the Verdugo Hills High School field trip to expose the students to the opportunities and possible career opportunities in aviation and aerospace.
I have a daughter who's 24 years old. There's a little picture of her. I'm not going to put it close, okay? This is when she was about 12 years old, and I took that of her, and that's her cell phone picture that I have on my phone. So when she calls, that little face pops up, and she's holding a little cell phone. She's very proud of her cell phone. Well, she's 24 years old now, and she's an airline captain. And she came home her senior year of high school. Do we have any seniors in here? Okay, oh, good. She came home her senior year of high school and just said, "Dad, I think I want to fly." We had never flown on little airplanes together, you know, like the little Cessnas or anything like that. She had just come home and decided she wanted to try that. So we went down to the airport and got into one of those little tiny airplanes and just to see if she even liked it. And she was in love with it. So don't be afraid if you don't know what you want to do right now, because it could change tomorrow and you might want to pursue a different path in your life, and that's okay. We'll hear some stories of people who had started on different paths and ended up in the aviation career field.
My path to getting here was kind of not the typical path. I was a flight attendant for many years. So I grew up in Hawaii, and growing up I never saw anyone that looked like me who was a pilot, and no one in my family is in aviation. And I had a friend when I was little whose dad was a captain at United, ironically, and I came home from a play date and I told my mom, I want to be a pilot. And she's like, "Oh, honey, you know, no, I don't think so. You'd have to join the Air Force. They're not going to take you. There's no girls in the Air Force." And whether or not that was accurate, it was her belief, and then she passed that belief on to me, so I just left that alone for all these years. When I was in college, I wanted to travel, and a friend of mine and I decided, hey, we're going to be flight attendants for a year, and then we'll travel and get to see the world, and then we'll go back to school. And it ended up being a lot longer than a year. About 12 years ago, I was like, I want to be a pilot. If I don't make this happen now, it's never going to happen. You know, I don't want to be here 5 years from now wishing that 5 years ago I had started. I found a flight school, took an intro flight, loved it. I was like, this is what I want to do. Put myself through flight training while working as a flight attendant and raising 2 little girls. After getting all my licenses and ratings, I became a flight instructor. So I flight instructed for 3 years. Got a job at a regional, flew for 3 years, and 3 years ago came full circle and got hired at United as a pilot. And it was kind of ironic that, like, when I was 6 years old, I said I want to be a pilot because my friend's dad was a captain at United, and here I am at United, and I fly the 787 Dreamliner and pretty much living the dream right now.
The main goal of Shades of Blue is to help build the future workforce for the country. We are inspiring young people across the nation, and we've been doing that for about the last 27 years to become professionals in the industry, in the aviation and aerospace industries.
I run the California chapter Shades of Blue. We mentor you for anything you want to do. And real quick, a little bit about me. I went to the military, and I flew in the Air Force, flew the F-4. Combat, I flew 265 missions. We brought back everybody we took off with. We followed the rules. Number 266, we forgot to bring the airplane back. Unfortunately, I was in the bad guys' territory, so I got to get caught and spend 9 months in jail. So anyway, that's that. That's my claim to fame. But Shades of Blue will mentor you, as Captain Willie said, in whatever you're going to do. One of our kids came to the Young Eagles thing and said, I'm not going up. Everybody else went up, so peer pressure forced him to go up. He said, but I'm going to keep my eyes closed the whole flight. Landed, you couldn't stop seeing the grin on his face. And that kid is now an aircraft mechanic for Northrop Grumman. it just opens your eyes to a new experience.
The beauty of seeing the expression on students when they get a chance to see the possibilities as well as the opportunities from the various aspects of what's offered. Pilots and the whole flight environment, mechatronics, robotics, and porpoise robotics, as well as porpoise AI. That's what brings me out here. So the idea behind using a ground vehicle which does emulate a toy, because it's more enjoyable to learn, to interface with. Most people are intimidated by robotics, AI, and the math and the science that goes behind it. But if you demystify those disciplines and help them to see that you can enjoy to understand the process involved with those behaviors, then it makes it a lot easier to want to take on the challenge of learning how to make that a functional physical reality.
Hopefully they'll get an appreciation for what it takes to be a pilot. But we also let them know that they don't necessarily have to be a pilot, but if they want to be a flight attendant, an aircraft mechanic, or technician, or customer service agent, manager, lawyer, or whatever, those opportunities are available for the students, and this will give them, by the time they leave here today, some options on a course of action that they may want to take to go with an airline after they come out of college. All they have to do is go to our website at www.ourshadesofblue.org, and at the very top address bar you'll see it says join. They click on that join button and they go in, they create a profile for themselves, a user profile. They create a user ID and a password, and they indicate what schools they're going to, what their interests are, whether it be a pilot, flight attendant, mechanic, or whatever, or engineer, and they fill out that profile and I prefer that they write an essay about what it is that they want to accomplish in life, and once they do that, it kind of imprints on their mind that I want to be this particular individual in life, and it sets them up on a path to get there.